Hello everyone and welcome to Reflections with Baba Yusuf. I am your host, Malam Baba Yusuf. Today I will reflect on the high mortality or failure rate of the Nigerian Airlines and how growth and sustainability can be achieved for the airlines and the aviation sector, as I am following with keen interest the ongoing robust discussions about national carriers versus flag carriers, which is a very important topic to address. However, in my view, the focus and priority should be on ensuring that the Nigerian Airlines are set up on solid foundations and properly positioned for viability, growth, and sustainability. Otherwise, the status of national carrier or flag carrier for the airline or airlines will be of no moment or impact. It is like putting the cart before the horse. In the last 4 weeks, stakeholders in the Nigerian aviation sector, particularly Nigerian Airlines, have been celebrating milestones of achievements. From the celebration of 10 years anniversary of the startup of operations of Air Peace Airline, with the expectations of more new aircrafts coming soon to add to its growing fleet, to the receipt and commissioning of 2 Bombardier CRJ-900 next generation aircrafts by Ibom Air, with 9 remaining Airbus A220-300s from Airbus in the next 3 years for domestic and startup of regional flights. United Airlines took delivery of its first Embraer 190 aircraft to grow its fleet. XEJet Airline, a new airline, also commenced operation with its maiden scheduled flight from Abuja and Lagos, etc. This is cheery news for the aviation industry and Nigeria because this signifies growth in an industry that has been resilient despite the challenges it has been facing pre, during, and post-COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, I give kudos to the owners and leaders of Air Peace, Ibom Air, United Nigeria Airlines, and XEJet for their vision and determination in the face of harsh economic realities and tough operating environment. I also commend the Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. Festus Keyamo, SAN, for his consistent support of Nigerian Airlines and the aviation sector in general through policies, domestic and international stakeholder engagements, enforcement of regulations, and pushing for better opportunities for Nigerian Airlines and other operators in the aviation sector. The Honorable Minister has been visible, vocal, and impactful in the past 1 year since he came into office. I look forward to further deepening, expansion, and sustained efforts by the Minister and his team to ensure success. I also urge all industry practitioners to continue the good work of supporting the industry. However, in my view, one of the best supports that Mr. Keyamo will give Nigerian Airlines is to come up with an all-inclusive approach to restructure, recapitalize, and reposition Nigerian Airlines for better performance, resilience, and sustainability. This can only be achieved by crafting a proper strategy based on which new and or additional coherent policies that will support the strategy will ensure a re-solidified foundation, more capacity, better credibility, success, and sustainability. With profound respect, we should not just be throwing policies at all challenges without properly evaluating the situation. An overhaul of the subsector has become necessary, in my opinion, due to the declining number of operating aircrafts, high mortality rate of airlines in the past 25 years, and rising cost of tickets, which is sometimes a subset of rising cost of operations like aviation fuel due to global and national economic headwinds like inflation and multiple taxation, harsh operating environment, etc. The Honorable Minister was very clear with statistics that he reeled out recently with regard to the rate of death of Nigerian Airlines, i.e. the number of airlines that are not able to take up to the skies anymore and had to shut down over the years while others are facing regulatory compliance issues. Additionally, others are struggling to undertake turnaround maintenance of their aircrafts, etc. Indeed, scale, and scalability are critical success factors in the airline business. Accordingly, it is time for us to have some forward thinking conversations about why and how we can save this very important value adding player in the socio-economic development of this country. How do we save the alien airlines, if possible, to recover from the current situation? How do we put policies, processes, and systems in place to safeguard this type of one step forward, four step backward trajectory? Unless those questions are adequately addressed, we run the risk of having to face a reality we don't want to face, which is in the mid to long term, foreigners will come in to invest and take control of major stakes in the aviation industry, just like it has been happening in other sectors of Nigeria's economy. For instance, it is so bad that we are not able to develop a capable and effective homegrown competition to the likes of DSTV, MTN, etc. On the one hand, we need the support of those very good Nigerians. We need to support rather those very good Nigerians who are currently, operating, albeit struggling to weather the socio-economic headwinds, and that is the airline operators. Without prejudice to any Nigerian airline, I used 3 Nigerian airlines as case studies in this reflection, and they are Overland Airways, Air Peace Airline, and Ibom Air. These 3 airlines have come at different times, under different circumstances, and are adding critical values within very interesting niches. In my opinion, Overland Airways is currently the most sustainable airline in Nigeria, having been operating smoothly and efficiently in its chosen niche for over 20 years. Captain Edward Boyo, the CEO of Overland Airways, a veteran in the industry who has been efficiently running that airline, has been doing a good job. The airline has demonstrated consistency for over 20 years with a very good track record of safety. Captain Boyo has also demonstrated prudence and excellent leadership in running the airline. I congratulate Air Peace for celebrating 10 years of efficient, growing, and value-adding operations. Dr. Alan Onyema, the chairman and CEO, has added value in the industry or to the industry in ways and means that have not been done before in recent history of aviation in Nigeria. Dr. Onyema has gone beyond just operating in the industry to adding value in philanthropy, and where Nigerians need help outside Nigeria, he has gone far and beyond to deliver those services for Nigerians free of charge. In the case of Ibom Air, here is a state-owned airline and the second government-owned airline in Nigeria after Nigerian Airways that has been successful from startup. The Akwa Ibom state government, under the visionary leadership of the immediate past governor, His Excellency Mr. Emmanuel Udom, was able to deliver this excellent project where even federal governments have failed. This is so especially when the current governor, His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno, has continued to work by consolidating the position of Ibom Air and guiding the execution of the strategic blueprint. The success of Ibom Air is basically because the government entrusts the leadership of Ibom Air under the leadership of Captain Mfom Udom as the Chief Executive Officer and Captain George Urisi as the Chief Operating Officer. These 2 aviation experts and leaders are indeed a classic case of round pegs in round holes. For longevity, profitability, and sustainability of Nigerian airlines, we must deal with strategy, corporate governance, minimum acceptable standards in terms of leadership and management structure, financial capacity, effective risk management, prudence, proper operational model, operational excellence, etc. Consequently, The government needs to come from a strategic and policy point of view to recapitalize this industry and set standards such that people have to come together to form alliances and strategic partnerships to build strong airlines as institutions and bring the requisite capacities and competencies to run the airlines in ways and manners that will not just be operational, but they will be profitable, value adding to the economy, and sustainable. This is a very important panacea for the turnaround of the Nigerian airline industry. Based on the aforementioned points, the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development need to have a new or to fine-tune the existing aviation reform strategy. This will ensure that we have a strategy that fits into our domestic and international realities to grow our domestic airline business and to make our domestic airlines more robust and competitive in the domestic and international markets. Just like what happened in the Nigerian banking industry 20 years ago, based on which the banking industry is currently undergoing a third phase of recapitalization. Nigerian Airlines should also be restructured, recapitalized, and repositioned as such. With all due respect to the Nigerian Airlines owners and operators, they can only guarantee the sustainability of their airlines if they consider and adopt strategic partnerships and collaborations. So we would like to see synergies between the players. This can be achieved by the airlines themselves or for the federal government to make that happen. The airline owners and leadership should review the situation from a strategic and profitability point of view, or from a survival point of view, to realize that they are better off as partners or getting new partners to grow, to have more fleet of aircraft in order to have economies of scale to grow. But a situation where you have individuals putting in their funds to operate airlines is not sustainable. What will most likely happen in the mid to long term is that reality will hit us. Foreign investors will have to come in, put in the requisite funding, and start eating into the domestic market, thereby killing our own brothers and sisters' investments. Moreover, the airlines need local and international partnership to grow. That is the reality. That is the way forward, ladies and gentlemen. And for the government to bring in regulatory framework to ensure that we have what I call a recalibration or remodeling of the subsector for sustainability. I hope and pray that this reform will happen for the good of the industry and for the good of the Nigerian economy. In subsequent episodes, I will continue to expound on this important topic, including the economics of the reform, infrastructure, some prudential guidelines to ensure success, regulatory shortfalls, etc. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to the next episode coming up on Sunday next week. Meanwhile, you can listen or download my podcast, Reflections with Baba Yusuf, on Spotify podcast, Apple Podcasts, as well as my YouTube channel at Reflections_BY. You can also follow me and my engagements on other social media platforms. Until then, it's bye for now.